We're back. In fact, all I did was quit and start over. Um, what I didn't do is change the drum sound. So, yes, we have some drums. They are vanilla. Um, if you click on the icon to bring up the instrument, and by the way, I can play my kick drum with the A on my keyboard, on my computer keyboard. D is the snare drum. 8 is the open hi-hat. U is the closed hi-hat. Let me set that again. Go. So I could kind of go like. Uh, it's fun. We can talk about quantizing later. There's auto quantize. It'll fix what you do. Going back to the sounds. So this is the vanilla drum machine, essentially, the sounds. If you want drum kits, you can, let's just choose caffeine. I'm afraid. But if I click on caffeine, it is now loaded up. I can double click and it will load up and close. So that's not going to work because the kick drum goes boom, and that has pitch. And as soon as we start drawing in our chords and our bass, that could be a problem. So just so you know, you have some drum kits, you have these drum machines. I can't tell you 100% the difference yet, and processed, which just means these are probably going to have a lot more effects on them and stuff like that. So let's just see what stroke it out means or sounds like. It's interesting. I didn't notice the velocity differences with the other drums. I'm not going to talk about that right now. That will kind of become more of a detailed cleanup later. Okay. It's actually just one long thing. There are drum kits, there's machines. So as you scroll, you get into this other category. What is that one? Brampton, which just makes me think of Brockhampton. Okay, that's okay. I can live with that. I want to double click and just check something real fast. If I So they actually have a bunch of different kind of snare pitches. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I'm going to add a new track. You can do that either here or here. We're going to choose a piano track this time. And going back to our little sheet here, we're going to draw in 3 chords. The first chord, which is the G flat major, made up of G flat, B flat, and D flat, is going to play. We're going to draw it for a measure. We're going to duplicate it. And in anticipation, again, that we actually have an intro, a 4-measure intro, we're going to kind of do it twice, so to speak. So I'm going to go into the piano roll. I'm going to choose, I'm going to use the pencil. I'm going to find G flat. And I'm going to draw. I don't like the length or how zoomed in I am. I need to zoom in more because I like to see my 16th notes. So I just drew in a note and I'm just going to pull it out. That is a measure. Okay, that's actually not even 16th notes. So now I'm seeing 16th notes. 1, so 4 is a beat, 4 is a beat, 4 is a beat, 4 is a beat. This is one measure. All right, so G flat, B flat. And now it kind of knew that I want it to be a measure long. It's anticipating some stuff. That's interesting. D flat. first mistake already. We are going to draw this out. We are going to select all this. And can't we? Ah, where'd they go? Interesting. All right. Why can't I unselect them? Because what I want to do... Okay. Let me see if I can get back in here and not have this bug me like that. Where'd it go? Ah, no. That's really weird, you guys. Wow. I have no idea what's going on there. I just lost complete control. How interesting. But it did what I wanted it to do. Is it intelligent? Anyways, I'll explain what I did. I wanted these to be 2 measures long. They are now. I don't know if they were. I'm getting a little confused by the interface. Except now I have a blank part of a region, which I don't want. So I'm going to come down to the bottom right-hand corner, and I'm going to adjust the end or trim it back to be a perfect 2-measure loop. Okay, so now I have 2 choices. I can just duplicate this, or I can duplicate these. Now, in this case, just because I want this to repeat, and then I actually want it to repeat again, that I think I'm going to duplicate it here in the edit window. So I'm going to, this time I'm going to option click and drag. Okay, option click and drag. I'm going to do it again. And one more time. Okay, so let me explain that, because it seems like, well, why'd we just do that? We have a 4-measure intro that is just playing the G flat major chord. Then the song starts with the G flat major chord for 2 measures plus 2 measures for a total of 4 measures, but we do want it to play again. We don't want it just to sustain for 4 measures. So if I double click into here, again, just a way to bring the piano roll back, we're going to go to the end or the beginning of measure 9, and we're going to draw in our next chord, which is E flat minor. So that is going to be E flat, and it knew for some really weird reason, but cool enough, that I wanted it to be 2 measures long. Again, because I'm zoomed out, this is just showing me quarter notes. So if I zoom in, now I'm seeing eighths, now I'm seeing 16ths, I think. And this is a 2 measures long, which is what we want. No, it's not. So anyways, sorry, you guys. I'll just continue with the chord, and I'll shorten it as needed. It's interesting that it seems to pick up on what you did previously and think that you want to repeat it. This is going to be a measure long, 2 measures, 1 measure, but that's fine. So we have E flat, we're going to put in G flat, which is right there. And then we're going to put in B flat, which is the shared chord. And just to make sure, we're going to listen. No, that's right. We want it to play for 2 measures. I'm used to this song at regular time. Okay, so the next chord, D flat major, which is D flat. So we're going to start over here, and hey. Okay, so this is a good mistake to catch. If this was a perfect 2 measures, I don't want it to start at the same time. I want it to start one over, and it kind of did something funky with the length. this time. Oh, no. Wow. You got to be careful about this stuff. This chord is actually hanging over and is too long. So if I highlight these, I should be able to adjust the length of all of the notes together. And I brought it back to be a perfect 2 measures. Now this one, I didn't notice it before. This one is a measure and a 16th note. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that 16th note. So now I need F. So I have my D flat or C sharp. I'm going to go up to F, which is the only white key in the game. Use my pencil. This time it drew in perfectly. You can see when you click on it that it shows you what note it's playing. It also shows you the velocity of 100. And I mentioned velocity at the beginning of the first video. I also happened to mention it that I could hear that the drums had different velocities, and we'll go back and adjust that later. Last note in this last chord is A flat or G sharp right there. Okay. Now, assuming this is all right, I'm going to zoom out. Again, this is long, so we don't want that. We're going to shorten that to end at the end of measure 12, the beginning of measure 13. So our entire phrase turned on, you can turn on cycle mode just by clicking here. And I'm going to just check this loop, which is, and see what it sounds like. And we'll start at the beginning of it. Okay. There we go. There's something I'd like to change in the drums, but I'm not going to do it yet. And I'm going to show you one last thing because, whoa. Let's listen to that again. Okay, there's some buggy behaviors because if you see this chord, which is the same as that chord, which is supposed to be, but then this one, it looks different, but it's not. It doesn't sound different. It just looks different. And I'm wondering if you zoom in, will it fix itself? No. But if you look at the piano roll, let's just go do that. It's the same. So that's a bug. That's not my fault. I'm going to highlight both of these pieces, this region and this 3-chord region. So I've selected it, it's darker. I hit Shift, I select, have both of them. I'm going to come up to Edit, and I'm going to say Merge Regions, which is going to take those 2 regions and make one. It adjusted the look of that chord, although it made it look different than these, which it's not. Because I noticed something I want to change, I'm going to bring this loop back because I don't like it anymore. And in fact, I'm going to cut it right there. All right, so we're going to fix our drums right now. I'm going to zoom in. I have a 4-measure loop. I'm going to place my cursor right at the beginning of measure 7. And I'm going to cut this. Let me just listen to it and make sure this is what I want to do. Yeah. Okay. It's going to be a significant change, actually. I'm going to place my cursor at measure 7. I'm going to hit Command E. I am going to zoom out a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to take this and drag it over, and I'm just going to get it out of the way for the moment. I'm going to take this one and duplicate it. Option, click, and drag. Option, click, and drag. Option, click. Option, click. No. Option, click, and drag, and then take that and delete it. Okay. And then move this one back in. Remember, this is the one with the drum fill, and I really only want to hear the drum fill, at least I think, in the fourth time through the loop. Okay, I don't know if you noticed it, but I did. There's a missing hi-hat all of a sudden. So I'm going to go back in here again. Oh, it's got unquantized notes. How did that even happen? Let's look at the piano roll. I need to get in there where that note disappeared on us. Hopefully that doesn't even happen to you, but it happened to me. But because I'm making your life difficult, use the pencil tool. Why is that so annoying? That is so annoying. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to option click and drag. Okay. So I don't know if you noticed what just happened there, but click. The velocity is 100. Velocity is 100. Why does this look like it's a shadow? Anyhow, I think we're good. Let's listen to that again. Forgot that I had a kick drum there. Okay, so there should be a kick drum there too. How weird. Okay, that's the drum beat. We're good again. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Now I'm going to highlight all of these by clicking Shift and clicking. Don't click on Edit or else that pops up and that's annoying. We're going to go back to Edit and merge regions. All right. We'll leave it. We're not going to copy it out yet. We're fine. Piano sounds. I don't want this to be an actual piano. So I'm going to go into, again, I'm going to click on the instrument icon. Come into this browser here. There are pianos, but there's also synthesizers. There's organs, choirs. So, for example, I really like a Rhodes piano. Let's make a warm Rhodes, because anything that's free usually isn't as good as something that's not. So we'll try the warm Rhodes. What does that sound like? Okay, so you hear that wobble. That's called, at least for this instrument, it's called tremolo. And I don't mind a little bit of it, but I wanted it to slow that down. I can speed it up so you can really hear it. Okay, and that's what I'm going to work with for now. We'll talk about how you can personalize this even more later. You can do whatever you want. You want to leave it as a grand piano, that's fine. All right, so now we have the piano in. I'm going to stop this video and do the bass.